Hey, what's up? Welcome to Through the Mixing Glass. My name is Joel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to be making two modern classic cocktails that I've never had before. Our drinks today come from the new book, Modern Classic Cocktails by Robert Simonson. I've mentioned his work on the channel before and I am a fan, particularly of his cocktail newsletter, The Mix. I will link to that down below. As you may have guessed, the book focuses on modern classic cocktails that were created within the past few decades or so and gained widespread acclaim outside of the bars that they were created in. If you're into cocktails, you likely know some of these drinks: the penicillin, the paper plane, the Kingston Negroni, the Oaxacan Old Fashioned, drinks like that. It also tells the story of a handful of drinks that haven't quite hit that mark just yet. Robert calls them modern classics to be. These are drinks that have stood the test of time but haven't had their big break just yet. And that's what we're gonna drink today. So, let's get started. Thanks for stopping by Through the Mixing Glass, where we are all about creative modern cocktails. If you're looking for new drinks to make at home, this is the channel for you. This is Through the Mixing Glass, looking at cocktails differently. Our first drink today is the Cab Calloway, which was created by Tiffanie Barriere from the Atlanta airport bar One Flew South. First into our mixing glass are 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. Whoa. Almost dropping the bottle and looking like an idiot is an optional technique. Next is 2 dashes of orange bitters. We're following that with 1/4 ounce of dry vermouth. And 1/4 ounce of apricot liqueur. I'm using Marie Brizard. Now let's add 1/2 ounce of rye whiskey. I'm using Sazerac rye. And finally, 1.5 ounces of dark or oloroso sherry. And we're going to garnish this with a lemon peel after giving it a squeeze to express its oils. Our next drink is the Wildest Redhead, which was created in 2011 by New York bartender Megan Dorman during her time at Lanterns Keep. First into our shaker is 1/4 ounce of allspice dram. Next is 1/2 ounce of honey syrup. Let's follow that with 3/4 ounce of freshly squeezed lemon juice. Now it's time for 1.5 ounces of a blended Scotch whiskey. I'm going with Copper Dog. Here's where this drink really sets itself apart from other whiskey sours. We're going to take 1/4 ounce of cherry heering and float it over the large rock of ice in our drink. Because the cherry heering is heavier than the other ingredients, it's going to sink to the bottom of the glass, giving it a super cool layered effect. All right, there we have it, our two modern classic cocktails to be. Let's see how they stack up. I'll go with the Cab Calloway first. Cheers. Yeah, that's nice. The dominant flavor that I get here is the sherry that I used. I used a fine sherry, a fino sherry, which I hope works as a okay substitution. I couldn't find the oloroso sherry that was called for in the recipe. But this is a nice drink. It's not too stiff. I think toning back the rye whiskey to only 1/2 ounce has made this a really approachable cocktail. It's really good. This drink was created for an airport bar. I could see this being like a really nice way to start a trip, start a journey. Yeah, that's really good. I'm gonna go for another sip. Yeah, the sherry, the dry vermouth, they both play together very nicely. I don't get a ton of the apricot liqueur. I'd like a little bit more of that. But yeah, this is a really nice cocktail. Why don't we give the Wildest Redhead a try? The drink is beautiful. The cherry heering is on the bottom, nice little layer there. Let me grab a straw here. Drop that in, give this kind of a quick little stir, see if we can combine this. Yeah, let's go ahead and give this a try. Ooh. Oh, that's very nice. The Scotch whiskey and the allspice are the two flavors that I get right away. That allspice is so good. It's such a delicious note in this type of drink. It just adds kind of like a depth of flavor that you don't normally get from a standard whiskey sour. The cherry heering on the bottom there, that's really nice too. It adds kind of like a, just kind of like a bright, fresh, fruity note to it as well. That's a winner right there. This is good too, not quite up to this one right here. This is not a head-to-head competition by any means. These are two very different drinks, but this is the one that I would be making if I were you. at home. I really like that. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked what you saw. Make sure you go out and check out this book. It's got a lot of great recipes in it, a lot of great stories kind of behind the recipes as well. And go out and make the Wildest Redhead. That is a really good drink, and I think you are gonna like it. All right, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next episode. Cheers.